All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z. Is it ever going to stop snowing here? I know it is right now, but like this morning it snowed for me all morning.
It might have been snowing. I guess you walked in more recently than I did. When I walked in, there were still some flakes coming down. Is it ever going to be warm again? Are we ever going to see the sun again?
No.
I don't mind like
cold
and sun. Cold and sun I'd be fine with.
Yeah, me too. I think that this is the time of year we're in. I just don't remember a stretch where we've had snow like every day or every other, at least where I am, every day or every other day for like a week.
I know, and I want that over Christmas. I'm
dreaming
dreaming
of
of a white Christmas. Yeah.
You got the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cold one out there. What is the extended? I haven't even looked. I think
Not
we're in
great.
this for a while, aren't we?
Not great.
In a bit of a deep freeze for a while?
Yeah.
Let me get you your daily here. Your Doppler 1 forecast. Oh, a balmy 25 today as the high, 27 tomorrow, 29. Huge snow on Friday, by the way, way more snow. Then 30, 31, 35, 25, 23, 25, 30, 33, 34, 29, 24, 20, 31, all the way to the 22nd. Here's the Reader's Digest. Much more snow, very little sun, and the snow's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Why is it's back up again?
Gibby likes it raised for you. He likes it so you don't have to bend down. He likes you just talking straight into it. It actually, if you line up to it, it is height apparent. It's possible this will help your posture.
It just feels
Not
like
that
I
you
know
need
you
it.
don't
have great
like
posture.
it,
You have great.
but when the mic is almost straight up in the air,
yeah.
you tend to bob and weave throughout a show.
Okay.
No. I'm not
bobbing
saying.
and weaving.
And when you move, it's a directional microphone.
Oh, sure.
So you
This
kind of need to be.
feels like it's in my
right
space. So it's
front
like
of
this
you.
is in my like eye line.
It's higher than you're used to. There's no doubt.
It's in my space.
Is it this that's causing the distraction?
this-
This line across.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, you can move it down a little bit.
Maybe take it down. Let's go this.
Maybe let's get a buzz saw and just cut
well, I
this
think
top off.
That's holding it all in place. I think if you go down, let's go down a quarter of an inch and see what that does for you. Let's take it down a quarter of an inch. Just that. You got it. There you go. Ooh,
Here?
ooh. Is that there?
That's good. That feels good.
That's
to me.
about where I am
That feels good.
in that vicinity.
No, you're not.
and that's fine. It
Well,
doesn't.
but I'm shorter than you.
Yeah. You're right.
So I mean, you have
Sure.
more
No, it's-
height. Yeah.
back off.
What did you think of Hard Knocks last night? Did you watch?
I did.
I did too.
I did. I enjoyed it. I thought that it was a very. There you go. How's this, Gibby? Does this work for you?
That's pretty good.
This feels great.
That seems good. Yeah, that
this
seems like
feels
a good spot for you.
Comfortable.
I'm good with that. I had to guess.
Yeah.
When
This
you
is
were
still
not
up
in there.
like.
I just had to try to figure it out. We have to adjust it, but
This is up 4 fingers.
If
This is a
we
nice,
need-
healthy pour.
It's a great pour.
It's a great pour. This is up a
you use
healthy
that
pour.
right about now.
Well, it's
It's
the first
early.
Friday, Gibby.
Yeah,
No,
live.
no, not
Live.
tonight. Now.
Yeah,
Oh, right
live.
now?
Why? What's
Right
going
now.
on, Gibby?
Pre-game for Cavs tonight. Pre-game it a
Yeah.
little bit. Give yourself some pops.
For the game of the year.
7
that
p.m.
No one thought at the beginning of the year would be
To
the
that
game of
end.
the year.
To that end. How about this?
I mean, the Thunder. They're good.
I got.
last year.
They are. Yeah. I got a notification back in like October that the Hudson High School team and then the 7th and 8th grade teams were having a youth night at the Cavs Stadium. Remember I did that with Beamsy and NBC
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Bootsy all the way back in
Tonight.
November. So Amy's like, "Do you want to go to this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine. I'll go. I'll keep an eye from afar on NBC, make sure that everyone's behaving great, support the local team, so forth, so on." Well, like 2 weeks ago, I realized it's tonight, so we're going tonight
To the game.
To the game. So yeah, thrilled.
The kid will be there. If you see him, give him a shout out.
He'll be a lot lower than me.
He will be.
I had a the funny thing about it was when my wife wanted to like buy the tickets a long time ago, and I'm like, don't do that. Like, I'll buy them a week before. I'll get them as we walk in the door, so forth and so on. So she, to her credit,
She did it anyway.
she did it anyway.
Good.
And so I think I paid like $100 a ticket or something like that, like 2 months ago,
Yeah.
because now, not.
Yeah, like that's a get in. That get in is
There aren't
robust.
many of these, and when you play 82, this is the thing that's hard. If you're baseball, if you're basketball, if you're the NHL, all these sports, when you play so many games, it's hard for any one game to have juice, unless there's rivalries. You play Boston, there's going to be some juice if you're the Cavs or whatever. There's some of that.
Too
But,
bad
like,
my guy Bancaro's hurt. Otherwise, there's some juice when he comes to
yeah,
town.
you like that guy, Big Bang Darrow guy.
Huge.
Huge,
That guy's
huge.
that guy's
He's a
a
stud.
mega star.
He is, yeah.
Dropped 50-something and then tore his oblique. No big deal.
No big deal. But this one has that. It's going to have that juice tonight. It's going to be crazy. They've won 15 in a row. Cavs have won 10.
They've never lost to an Eastern Conference team.
Never lost.
Cavs have never lost to a Western Conference team. Something's got to give.
Something's got to give, baby.
Dun, dun.
I did hear Mobley this morning as I was driving around saying how, like, it's still early. We're not into the All-Star break, whatever happens. And I'm like, no. Lean into it, brother.
Yeah, lean into it. Have fun
Lean
with it.
into
Big
it.
game.
Yeah.
Jeremy in Akron said he sold his for triple face value.
Good job at Jeremy in Akron.
Yeah.
I
Very
think
good job.
I think he runs the youth football program.
He does.
there with at Copley.
You
I
have-
think. I believe
you
I
have
that
that
right.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Hard Knocks. Go.
So we got a little bit of attention. My wife was quite pleased, and therefore,
Your
I
larynxes
was.
get a lot of work
Yeah.
on the Hard Knocks. You're getting a lot of love. More than you do sometimes even on your own show.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of honored by that. They used my stuff in some of it out of sequence, but that was fine. It still worked for the moments they used, but it was really cool. I actually was very
cool. Yeah.
touched with it. And this whole season there's
Been very
so
That's been cool.
shout out Hard Knocks people. Thank you very much. Game recognized game.
Yeah.
I thought the Miles moment with Roger Rosengarten was really cool. Second round pick.
Incredible.
And hey man, can I get that jersey? You know, I know
It takes a
nobody.
lot of onions to make that ask of that player.
Totally, and that's why I think he went self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm nobody, but
Yeah.
and then I was like, "You're in the league. You guys are balling. You're not nobody." I thought it was really cool
Very
from Miles. Obviously,
We have that clip if you want to hear it.
Sure, let's do it.
Go ahead.
No, I'm a nobody, but if I get that jersey, I'm gonna. Hey, you in the league, y'all winning games, y'all looking great. You're never nobody. I got you. You got me? Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool by Miles.
On a quick aside,
Yep.
is there an etiquette to that? Do you think?
I think so. I think you have to be of a certain ilk, and I think that was probably Roger realized I'm probably on the I think if you played with the guy,
Easy.
easy. If you
Like,
went
let's
same
say
school
Lamar
or same
said-
school.
Like, what I'm thinking is if you're Miles,
Lamar,
Derrick Henry, let's do a swap.
even Mark Andrews,
Yeah.
Ronnie Stanley,
Yeah. Right.
if
Right.
Linderbaum, the center, wanted.
Yeah.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
You're right. I do because
Kyle
like,
Van Noy saying, "Hey, show me a little respect."
in the soccer world, like the 210s always exchange, like the best guys.
yeah,
Like they all kind of know their pecking order. They kind of exchange with the players that is equivalent to them.
no, I mean, I think
So I think
here,
it's an onions ask out of him.
No, he shot his shot, no
Yeah.
doubt. But as I often say I say this to my kids, and I say it to anybody who is in a situation where they need to advocate for themselves. Closed mouths don't get fed. He doesn't make the ask. There's no way it happens. The worst that could happen is he says no.
That's it.
And you already don't have his jersey now, so you're status quo.
Yep.
But he could say yes and be moved by, and it was obviously a good approach because the self-deprecating nature of his approach is what really resonated, and there it was. So that's what you saw. I like that. I thought what I found to be the most interesting part of this Hard Knocks was the great lengths that John Harbaugh went to and various psychological tactics to ensure that his team did not overlook the Browns in this game.
Yes.
From being like, hey, they beat you earlier.
Yep.
We get vengeance. To being, look, all we have to do is go 1-0. That's what we try to do every week. Go 1-0. We win and then when they got closer to the game, it was like, how embarrassing and how awful would it feel
Yeah.
if we blow it and lose this game? It would feel so awful.
Yep.
We cannot feel that awful. We don't want to feel that awful. Go out and do it. And how about, should we get another first down, we're going to take Derrick Henry out and he rips off the touchdown? Like, what was he doing in there? With another first down,
What were we doing?
It's 28-10, brother. There are 4 minutes left.
Don't know.
Who cares if you get another first down or not?
It's done, man.
Way done.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember saying on the broadcast, I said, if I was, as a Browns fan, you're watching it with kind of, the only thing that could have happened really out there that would have sent you into a real tizzy is if Miles suffered a devastating injury.
Yeah, right.
But for them, they're going on immediately.
Yeah.
A high ankle sprain is a problem. Like, what in the heck were Lamar and Derrick Henry doing out there? And, from a guy like Girardi saying to our team, we're not resting on any of our laurels. This is who we are. We're here to play football. And that's what we're going to do. But I thought that was amazing that he said, yeah, just one more. And then he ripped that off the touchdown, which was great. By the way, it turns out for my in the
the over-
family league, the family game,
the
the
family
over
league and the
under.
over-unders. There he is.
It was all of it.
The great Scarlet. I
Yeah.
don't know what you got there. What's fly? I don't know what he's doing.
Fly Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles fly. I don't know what he's doing. Somebody's back.
He's trying to say they're bad. Gibba and I confronted him. Not back.
Not back.
Not back. He's like, but we're back to being like kind of good.
That's not what we're doing.
I said that's not Clemson's
not what
was
we're
national
doing.
championships.
Yeah, come on.
They're playing for
Not back.
Not back.
I thought it was an incredible window into Miles.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a window into him I wish I saw more of
Yeah.
just throughout the year and all of it because he is – you think about him, and I saw he was a football player. I thought I saw today. Maybe you guys have it in the show.
NFLPA All-Pro.
Yeah,
I
so
want
he's
to. So I
first
have
team All-Pro, right?
NFLPA All-Pro.
NFLPA All-Pro.
So not
Okay.
that's not the All-Pro, which is the AP All-Pro.
Oh, okay.
This is the NFLPA does it, and I know we have a list here. I turned mine over. I turned yours over. You haven't seen that.
Okay.
I would think that I want us to do our
want
own.
to try and guess?
Not even try to guess,
Or
what
just
they
try
do,
to
just make
guess
our
our
own, and then see how they line up.
All right. To the Miles point, I love seeing that of him. And if you think about what Miles had to be, because it's a draft that at the time had certainly two franchise quarterbacks in it, Deshaun Watson before all of this went crazy, and then Trubisky went second overall. I didn't buy that for a second, but of course Mahomes. And the fact that I'm getting there. I'm just meant in order that they were picked. So, or Mahomes, I guess, was before Watson.
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If Miles is Mario Williams, even, who was really, really good, or if he is, some sort of a Russell Maryland who went number 1 overall. There's been a bunch of number 1 overall guys at various positions who didn't necessarily live up all the way. It would be such another just incredible scarlet letter on the franchise, and the pressure was that he had to be supreme, and he has been. And if he wasn't, it would just be one more thing that would feel just overwhelming. But he was great. And that is something that I think back a lot when I think about us talking about him or covering him or him being in the community or on the team or whatever. Like Myles Garrett in a draft that had Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes had to be great, or else it would have been like, what the hell were you thinking? You needed a quarterback. There were quarterbacks in that draft. How did you not pick one of these guys? But Myles was great.
Right. The fact that you are in a draft with Patrick Mahomes and nobody even bats an eye that Myles Garrett was the number 1 overall pick in that draft.
No.
Nobody bats an eye. That's incredible. Now, obviously, you want the accolades that the success and the championships and all of those things that you've gotten from Patrick Mahomes, but the fact that it's not even a question, like, yeah, of course, Myles Garrett totally deserving of the number 1 overall pick. That's a hard needle to thread given who else was in that draft with him.
Yeah. And I thought it was a really cool window into him. I love seeing the stuff with his family. I loved seeing his face light up talking about the sacks and all of that. I just thought it was really cool. I was appreciative to see it.
It's also amazing to me how much the league has changed. And I'm going to go back and say, well, maybe it hasn't changed, but how you had in 15, Jameis and Mariota go 1-2, 16, Goff and Wentz go 1-2.
Yeah.
And then in 17, yes, Trubisky goes 2, but like Mahomes went, I want to say 10th?
10 or 11, yeah.
10th, I think. And then Watson went 12th.
12, yeah. I think you have that right, yeah.
But they weren't like 1, 2, 3.
No, Reminds me a little bit of this draft, how people are like, I don't know if there's anybody good in this draft,
Well,
and I don't know.
18, you had a quarterback 1. 19, you had a quarterback 1. 19's Kyler.
So
20?
in 2017, Trubisky 2, obviously. Mahomes was 10.
Yeah.
Watson was 12.
And we were in 12. We traded out of 12.
Right, because you could have had Miles and Deshaun, and we'll see on down the road. Yeah.
Or a lot of people that time, if you remember, were wanting Malik Hooker in that spot.
That's right. I do remember that.
Who's still in the league, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about Mahomes, but I was a big Watson guy. Like, he was the best player on the field in those national championship games against Alabama when they were at that level.
At the time, there were accuracy questions about him in the middle, intermediate, and
Yeah.
more vertical. Mahomes, people were like, he's either going to be the best quarterback ever or he's going to be a total bust.
Yeah, I remember Cosell saying that.
Cosell
Like,
had no idea how
what
to
to do with him.
evaluate him. Yeah. Who went first in 20? Is Miles the last non-quarterback to go 1?
Wasn't 20 Burrow during COVID?
Yeah, Burrow played in 19 at LSU.
Yeah.
Okay, so
20 was
17
Burrow.
is Miles, 18 is Bake,
So that's
19
Burrow,
is Kyler,
Herbert,
20 is
and-
Burrow. Gosh, Herbert.
That
Tua,
whole-
right?
Tua was in there.
In that draft?
Yeah. Tua went ahead of Herbert.
21, 22, 23, 24. So 24 was this year, which is Caleb. 23 was Bryce Young.
Kyler's in there. 21.
Kyler was 19, wasn't he? Wasn't he the year after Baker?
Year before. Yeah, 1 year before Burrow. That's right. Yeah.
So 21 and 22 are the two that I'm blanking on off the top of my head. Oh, Trevor Lawrence is in here somewhere.
Trevor Lawrence would be 21.
Trevor Lawrence was 21, and then 22 was Trayvon Walker, DN from Georgia that went to Jacksonville.
That's right. Aiden Hutchinson was in that draft.
Because that went Jax.
That was the Pickett, Willis, all those guys were in that draft where there was only one quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, so
22.
So 22 and 17 are the last times in the last 10 because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and then 15, 16 you had QBs. 1, you had Jameis, and then you had in 16 you had Goff.
Yeah.
So Goff has been to a Super Bowl and not won it. Burrow's been to a Super Bowl and not won it. And that's it. No Super Bowl, no Super Bowl, no Super Bowl, no Super Bowl, no Super Bowl for the quarterbacks in that stretch. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. In terms of being the number one guy. Yeah.
I mean, the reality is outside of Mahomes,
Well, I mean,
only Mahomes and Burrow have gone to the Super Bowl and Brady since he's been here. So that means Allen's never been to the Super Bowl.
right.
Lamar's never been to a Super Bowl.
Well, Mahomes is the problem. There's a guy who.
But everybody's like sleeping on them. And I was
I know,
guilty
how
of
could
it
you?
too. I was guilty of it. I said they're not going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to stand by that because I said it emphatically
I
at the
just
time.
don't
But
see any scenario how anybody walks into Kansas City and wins.
now it just feels like they're.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. Like, I remember Doug Lesmerises said this once when this was after the 2010s when the SEC had all those national championships over a 15-year period. And he goes, college football doesn't have an SEC problem. College football has an Alabama problem. That Alabama won 6 titles in a 12-year period. And it really wasn't – it would have been spread out fairly decently had Alabama not been Alabama. It would have been probably okay. The NFL doesn't have an elite – they have a Patrick Mahomes problem. That's what they have.
And they had before
He's
that.
won 3. He's played in 5.
Yeah. I mean, and before that, they had
A Brady.
a Brady problem.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just he's hogged it. Brady hogged it before him, and then it went straight to him. And so he's hogged all the appearances. He's hogged the wins. He's got 3 already, doesn't he?
Yep.
They're going for 3 in a row, and he'll be his 4th.
Yep.
And the only time he didn't play in the Super Bowl is when they lost to New England in the AFC Championship game with Brady and to Burrow.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the
Other than
list.
that, they're in the title game every year.
Who have they beaten in those championship games?
Bills a couple of times. They beat the Ravens.
Have the Ravens made it to one? Was it that
Weren't
last
the Ravens
year?
there last year?
Was that
at
last
home?
year?
I think it was at home. Kansas City beat them at home.
Kansas City last year in Baltimore. You're right. Yep, 17-10. Bengals 23-20 in Kansas City the year before. They lose to the Bengals 27-24. Beat the Bills 38-24, and then in 19 they actually beat the Titans 35-24.
Yeah.
His first year he loses to New England 37-31 in a nuts game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's that's anyway, it was cool to just see Miles and to see that window into him. I also thought it was really a little bit misleading. I love all that stuff, but it was misleading. I think the editing on the Bengals thinking there was a hope.
I mean, they show the guys watching the game. And
Right, but it was over. The hope was lost
immediately.
quickly. Like when you saw what was going. It was
There's no way, by the way, that those players sat there. I'm convinced they changed the screen. There's no way that those players would have sat there to watch it when it was 38-0.
no,
Or 31-0.
No, they're
and
done.
neither would have.
They're gone.
Zach Taylor would have been
No,
like,
he's
get this
gone.
off my screen.
I'm done.
I'm done.
On to our
Okay,
exit meetings.
so here's my other thought on it.
Go ahead.
If that was indeed, as we were told by Gibba,
Yeah.
if that was indeed the series finale, it ended rather abruptly and did not feel in any way, shape, or form like that was the series finale.
No, agreed. Normally, Hard Knocks wraps with a vignette at
And
the
a
end,
retrospective and
what's
yeah.
accomplished, what hasn't. No, it did not feel like it. It just ended.
So it makes me wonder, do we get another week? And do we get another week of Ravens Steelers? And then on our side, because nothing post-Sunday was addressed, but they were
That's a good point.
in buildings
yeah.
post-Sunday.
Maybe you do get one more week. Maybe they go.
So you get like a-
Steelers, Ravens lead up to post, and then maybe I don't know. Is it official that it's done?
Yeah, according to Yahoo Entertainment, it says it's a 6-episode series, and the 6th episode aired last night.
Then they didn't do it the way they normally do.
That ending felt very abrupt.
It did.
It's felt to me like we're not done with the story. Because to your point, I don't know if we would get it, but in Cincy, I want to see the Lou Anarumo, and I want to see
Oh, my
Burrow just talk about the plan. And then here, I want to see, obviously, our offensive changes, and obviously you want to know what happened with the Deshaun thing on some level. Just somebody getting the information, whatever.
Yeah,
it
even
is.
if you're not in the room, just the
No, just
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
And
I
then
know.
you have Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I mean, it
Actually feels like it would have the potential to be the best episode of the whole season.
that's right.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Also, in last night's episode, you heard Kevin Stefanski's final post-game locker room message to the team. I believe we have that as well.
We'll have time to reflect. Here's what I want to make sure you hear from me. We are not perfect. We weren't perfect tonight, but we've kept swinging. And I appreciate that from this group. And it tells me you did that because you love each other. So I want you to hear gratitude from me. Gratitude from me for fighting your ass off.
I think one thing that is going to be that this Kevin AB, the leaders on this team, are going to have to fight really hard for this offseason is maintaining or finding a way to get back to a cultural place where winning is because it's hard to maintain culture in losing. It's very difficult.
It's a culture killer.
Yeah. So
Because this is
tough off season in that sense.
folks, this is the most binary business that there is. It is the most binary business. College football, I'd put similar to it. But
Yeah.
it is the most binary, although college football now watered down. That's all it is. It's all winning and losing. There are not, when you have 82 games, when you have 160-something games, you have times to get it figured out and to
Yeah.
get here, every game matters. You keep bringing it up, and it's a good, well, what if? New England had no business beating the Bengals
No.
in Cincinnati week 1 of the season.
None.
But that's how that game comes back to haunt you because in the NFL, the margin for error is so small.
Yeah.
It is so hard to win week in and week out that you have to have it. And for them, I mean, if you're the Bengals, you feel really good, right? You feel really good because you've got Joe Burrow.
Yeah. That part's good.
That part's great. But B, there has got to be, and I don't think that that's even a question, a voice in his head saying, I need to get out of this organization and be in an organization with an owner who is liquid and is not afraid to spend to keep everything around me so that I can win a Super Bowl. Because that is just not the way the Bengals operate.
No, it's not. It is not.
And
been.
he knows that, and he's going to see T. Higgins walk out the door,
Yeah.
or they're going to play they're going to play 3 on 22.
Yeah, because you can't. And the crazy thing is Higgins is now represented by the same guy as Chase. So they know what they're offering Chase and what they're offering Higgins. So, and when I said there is no – because I'm just trying to make sense. I was talking to Jay Morrison about this earlier in the week, and I said, can you help me understand why everybody down there kind of feels like maybe Higgins and Chase can both stay? And he kind of went through some things. He's like, same agent, maybe they can kind of do like a package deal. And I said, okay, but in order for that to happen, isn't Jamar Chase going to have to take a discount? And do you think Jamar Chase would take a discount? And the answer to that was emphatically no.
No,
he's
he will
not
not.
taking a discount. In fact, he wants to lap the field on the Justin Jefferson deal. And
He just say you blew it.
You blew it,
he
boy.
wants to recoup what he should have been paid this past season had he done a new deal.
Yes, and they should have. And then I'm like, okay, well, if they're going to redo Burrow and restructure that, there's got to be the liquidity for that. So no, it's a mess. It is. They are honestly like the perfect operation. Remember we talked about like private equity in the NFL? Like that's the type of situation. You get an influx of cash for a percentage of ownership, and then we can operate for real.
It doesn't seem to be the way he operates.
No, it doesn't.
I'll tell you, I was on the field doing my post game in Cincy after the game that was there. What is it, a couple of weeks ago? Mm-hmm. And I'm walking off the field, and I get almost bumped into enough where like I had to move and go, whoa, and excuse me. It was Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Just walking around the field in like a old leather jacket.
Yeah.
No security with him.
No, why would he?
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on the
Well-
field enough around NFL owners. They're never just walking by themselves.
No.
Ever.
No.
Not in their home stadium. It doesn't
No.
matter. They've got their people there always. And this guy, he was just walking around like an old leather jacket.
Yeah. Cruising.
I was like, man.
Yeah, very different operation. It is interview season in the NFL. Kevin Stefanski reportedly will interview tight end coach Tommy Rees for our vacant offensive coordinator position. This would be obviously a no-brainer. We know how highly everybody thinks of Rees around here. I just wonder if there will be interest in him other places in the league for him to do the job in which he actually is also calling plays.
Yeah, so I don't know when that's happening. We know that there have been multiple reports. I know that I saw Mr. Rees earlier today, Brown's current tight end coach, looking very dapper in the cafe.
Nice.
So perhaps it's happening sooner rather than later. Considered to be a very, very good mind. I think he's perfect in the sense that he understands so many different offensive concepts, but at the same time would be able to come in and I think almost work in concert with Kevin. Kevin would be able to call the plays. It makes a lot. He seems to be a star in the making.
Yes.
So that would make a lot of sense to me. I think if he doesn't bring in, call it like let's say a Clint Kubiak, who clearly is versed in it, that he's got history with, Rees would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
He would be a no-brainer from the standpoint of if we go quarterback at 2, or if there is a young quarterback in the room,
There has to be.
Tommy would be perfect for that, and the nurturing of that and the bringing that person along, he would be perfect from that. I know that from Laurinaitis, who worked with him at Notre Dame. Like he's a dude. Tommy's a dude, and he knows how to deal with quarterbacks. So I think that would be a really, really positive thing. Diana Rossini, the Titans have requested to speak with Brown's Assistant General Manager, Vice President of Football Operations, Catherine Hickman. Did I see Glenn for them too?
Yes.
Both. For Tennessee? I
Yes.
thought I saw both for Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both.
The only report I've seen is for Catherine. Glenn was an interview candidate a couple of years ago.
No. It was,
I saw Glenn this morning. I'm almost sure that I saw it this morning. Now, it was on social, so 62% of the time it's right all the time. But I swore I saw Glenn this morning.
that.
I mentioned it. And the reason it struck a tone with me this morning when I saw it was, of course, one of the quarterbacks.
correction.
Okay. Good job.
Brad Stainbrook, correction 1 hour ago. The Titans have requested to speak with Catherine Hickman, not Glenn Cook. Sources confirm Titans could still request Cook and have a level of interest, but no request for Cook as of now. So Stainbrook is where we both saw that earlier this morning.
Okay.
Now, and Rossini has on Catherine Hickman, just Catherine Hickman. So, yeah, if it were to be Catherine Hickman that goes there, number one, boy, that's interesting. She would probably be quite privy to our board at this time.
Yeah.
For the team that picks right in front of you. You would pick up a comp third in this draft and a comp third in 26. So you would actually have 3 threes in this draft to play with.
Yeah. Is there a way to, I mean, 'cause I didn't even think about that from what you just said in terms of her being privy to our draft board. Like, I guess I didn't do the math on Tennessee picking first and remembering that they did. Could you block that? So you just can't go there? I mean, how do you do that? I mean, that's a tough spot.
It is a tough spot. I mean, look, you'd probably say the 2/3 are maybe worth it, unless you're totally in love with already only one quarterback. That'd be the problem. That would be very bad. The other thing that's true is just because they know your board, she would now be the buck stops here. She may have a different favorite than Andrew Berry does.
Yeah.
So that's always in play. So I saw this on Twitter, and I don't know what the answer to it. My guess is no. But oftentimes when there's a tie in record, they flip it in the second round. But we don't have the first pick of the second round, right? We have the second.
I haven't
pick
even
of the
looked.
Second round. G-Man, do you know what I'm talking about? No.
Get us a G-Man. Get us a
2-round mock.
A 2-round mock, second round mock. Now that it's all known, and congratulations to our friend Ian Eagle being named the National Sports Media Association 2024 National Sportscaster of the Year. Well deserved on that front. Those are your hot topics of the day, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. We will go around the league coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Browns fans, this month's winner of the local business platform presented by Minuteman is Cilantro Taqueria. Cilantro Taqueria boasts 6 locations throughout Northeast Ohio. They stand as a testament to hard work and community partnership. Check them out today. To learn more, visit browns.com/community/local business platform. Time to go around the league, presented by Leaf Filter, official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. This from Tom Pelissaro. Multiple teams have inquired about whether Bill Belichick would reconsider his move to college, including the Raiders, whose new minority owner Tom Brady recently spoke with his old coach.
All right.
Well,
let's put this point with point 3 instead of having a buffer in between because it's relevant. The Raiders will retain Tom Telesco. Vegas is open, as we thought it was going to be. Diana Rossini says it'll be interesting to see how much influence Tom Brady will have in this next Raiders coaching search. I'm told it will be a lot. So that to me, these are almost connected points. Oh, it
One
will be a lot.
buttresses the other.
Oh, he's already spoken with him. Now,
There's 2 ways you can read that.
it's $1 million buyout.
It's $10 million right now. It's $1 million in
After
June.
But he would have to be there for.
He's got to be at Notre Dame, or he's got to be at North Carolina for signing day and all of that. So, like, someone would have to pay the $10 million for him to leave now, if he was going to coach in the NFL.
Are the Raiders going to do that? That's another one of those teams that's not necessarily as.
Well, don't they have some cash influx now though? Didn't they have some?
Did they do a private equity?
I think they did some Vegas setup, right? Don't I have that right? Is there some sort of Vegas ownership tie beyond Mark Davis?
Well, Tom Brady's an owner.
Yeah, I think they brought on some liquid people to give him a little bit of more Scrooge McDuck coins to dive into. I could be wrong.
There we go.
Why?
The Raiders ownership group is Mark Davis, controlling owner. Other investors are Tom Brady, along with Tom Wagner, acquired a 10% stake in the Raiders. The CEO of Silver Lake and chairman of the Endeavor board, Egon Durbin, acquired a 7.5% stake in the Raiders. And Michael Meldman, the founder and chairman of Discovery Land Company. Oh, man. Yeah, they've got cash.
That's what I was saying.
Acquired a 15%, a 7.5% stake in the Raiders. So that was on December 11th that the Endeavor, Durbin, and Meldman came on. So that's 15%. That's cash.
That's
Yes.
liquid. Yeah. So that's how that could happen. I don't know why Bill Belichick's coaching at North Carolina. I don't understand it. I've been skeptical from the second I heard about it. I would never thought it possible. It makes no damn sense to me. When I see him on McAfee in his car driving to take pictures with high school kids who now he has to negotiate with without a cap or any sort of structure, and then he has to go to boosters and beg them for money, it just seems like the opposite of anything he would ever want to do.
Yep.
That being said, if you were to rank the jobs available, I think there are 3 that are very good, and then there are 3 that are brutal. Raiders, Jets, Saints are bad jobs.
Horrific.
I don't even know what is the Raiders.
Hold on. Raiders, Jets, New Orleans Saints. Here's the one thing. In New Orleans, you're at least in a division that feels reasonable. Bo.
All right. This is I did a little role play. I'll ask you to do the same.
Okay.
What would be the 3 things, if you're Mike Vrabel, who's interviewing for all of these jobs, what would be the top 3 things in order that you would look for? All right. While you're thinking of that, I'm going to write down what I wrote. I'm not looking at all. Okay. And then, all right. So I
Do they have to be different? Unless they be 3 independent things.
Mine are 3 independent things. Otherwise, you say quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I had quarterback.
Yeah. I have 3 independent
Okay, fine.
things.
Quarterback,
Same.
ownership / like money, cash situation, cap situation,
Yeah.
all of that, and then the division you're in.
So I split cap, assets, and ownership. So I went quarterback, cap, assets. How can we improve quickly? Because you're taking over a bad team.
Yeah.
Owner is 3rd. And then I would have had Division 4.
Okay.
So, but we had the exact same order.
Yes.
So if you apply that
yes.
to the teams the jobs that are available, to me, the only one that checks every box is Jacksonville.
Well, Jacksonville's the best.
And it's the only thing you have to deal with is the general manager.
Jacksonville's the
but Shad Khan also said, look, I could get rid of him if
while he was on the
While he
Zoom.
was sitting
It would
there.
be like if we were doing CBD right now, and I was like, and I'll let you be. You can be Shad since you've got a more robust mustache area. Be like, if they convinced me to get rid of Nathan, I'd get rid of him.
I would.
I would do it.
Yeah.
And Balky was like,
Okay. Yeah. So
"You are the owner."
I think Jacksonville's the best job because it checks every box.
So Jacksonville's number one by far. Of the other three, so Vegas.
And then I have New England second and Chicago third. Just the ownership thing in Chicago, I'm just not crazy about.
Vegas is quarterback, no. Ownership now with some of that money and Brady.
That's a nice
That's
place
an
to live.
okay.
You can attract people there.
Division is hard, no. The AFC West is going to be the best division of football, or beyond that. AFC is loaded. Dude.
It's the AFC West is always going to be in the top 2 or 3 because of the quarterbacks. You're going to have to deal with Mahomes and Herbert for the next 5 to 10.
Man, Bo Nix doesn't no
He looks
slouch
okay, yeah.
himself. The Jets, quarterback, no. Ownership,
No.
no.
We have that clip from Shad Khan if you want to hear it.
Go finish the exercise.
And then division,
You got to deal with the Bills.
The Bills are a force, but Miami seems to
New
maybe
England's
be,
on the come, though.
and
I
New
think.
England on the yeah. Division's a better situation than Vegas's division.
Yes.
But a worse situation than Jacksonville's and a worse situation than New Orleans. Quite
So
frankly.
New Orleans doesn't have the quarterback.
No.
Ownership's a little bit dicey in the fact that isn't there some sort
Bensons,
of
they
but
seem-
isn't there a little bit of a because the old man is gone. I think there's like a mom, a stepmom kid fight a little bit there for them. I could have that wrong, but I think that there is. I have no idea about their cap situation or assets or anything like that.
Gail Benson is the owner of the Saints and the Pelicans. Principal owner of the Saints and Pelicans when her husband passed away in 2018. She is the CEO of both teams. Seems like she is pretty.
She's running things. She's got it.
She's got
Okay.
it.
All right. Whereas the other three, I just think it
great unis too.
like, why is Belichick not the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Why is Vrabel not the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Well,
he knows that division.
Don't you think that is mostly? Well, the other thing is, and if you read Kevin Clark's piece on Mike, and you read about the type of personality that he has, and we didn't see it as much here because he was here for such a short amount of time, but certainly starting in Columbus all the time. He's a ball breaker,
Yes,
is what he is, and
but he's also a ball hitter.
yes,
He likes the golf.
Well, he does.
Jacksonville.
very good. Yeah, it would
Sounded
be
like he was playing golf 4 times a week.
it did, it did. But I
Always.
also think he would love a spite sandwich. And so for him to work in Jacksonville, where it didn't work for Urban, and to stick it to Tennessee,
Is a double whammy.
feels like a double whammy to me.
Yes.
That would be my. Then I see it how you do. I have that as the best. So many thoughts.
If
So many
I
thoughts on
was, if I were right now being pursued by NFL teams to be head coach, I would want to go to Jacksonville.
Same.
Period. The end.
Yep.
Full stop.
I would too.
Because I already know the person's going to be my biggest critic. I've body bagged in a trial on this program. Pete Prisco,
You did.
I'm in your head, baby.
You were.
Well,
He hasn't been back since.
No.
That was it.
No.
Haven't seen him since.
Ezekiel Elliott is better than Nick Chubb.
Jeez. Speaking of Ezekiel Elliott, who's now a member of the Chargers, his former team, the Cowboys, denied
Practice
the
squad.
Bears' request to interview Mike McCarthy. McCarthy's contract expires today, but the Cowboys hold exclusive negotiating rights through the 14th. After that, McCarthy would become a coaching free agent. The Bears are going to interview Pete Carroll for their head coaching opening tomorrow.
He wants it, supposedly. Wants it bad.
He's in his early 70s.
Yes, he is. By the way, Uno says...
I think the reason that Jerry Jones said no to McCarthy is, and I think it will actually cause him to give an extension that he maybe otherwise wasn't going to do, but just the fact that the Bears wanted to talk to him. I think he's operating a spite store.
it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. By the way, Uno says we do, in fact, have the first pick in the second round. Uno says that it is a fact.
Now Uno's back in the mix?
Uno's back in the mix. He's checking in. That's what he says.
God, the great Uno.
Yeah.
Good lineage, him and the G-Man. Good dudes, back to
Yeah.
back. 49ers fighter defense coordinator Nick Sorensen and special teams coordinator Brian Schneider. They reportedly hope to retain Sorensen in a different role. Sorensen was here, right? Wasn't Nick Sorensen here, or did he have some ties to here?
Nick Sorensen, if I am thinking of the same person, is the person that helmet to helmet hit. And maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was the one that helmet to helmet hit our boy
Wasn't that Dan
Hollywood
Sorensen?
Higgins.
All right.
Dirty Dan?
Nick Sorensen played for the Browns because there's a
So
picture
this
of him
is
in
why
the Browns.
his kids played against my kids in youth sports.
So he was
Youth
with the Browns from
basketball.
2007
Yeah.
to 2010. So I'm
This
thinking
kid's
of a
got
different
long
person.
hair, and I remember even when he was. I want to say he was in Seattle or something, and he was like living in Seattle, but his kids were. I would see his kids in youth sports.
He was a Seattle assistant special teams coach from 13 to 15, DB coach 16, secondary coach 17 to 20. Then he went to the Jags with 21 Urban.
Yeah, probably.
Special teams coordinator, defensive assistant Niners 22, defensive pass game specialist Nichols coach 23, DC 24. Although I'm guessing you said this because they are going to talk to Saleh.
Yes, and that would seem to be where you're at.
Yep.
All
Okay,
right.
do you see that report? Because that was actually not on here.
I did. Yes.
Yeah, Saleh. They'd say if he's doesn't get a head coaching gig, come on back and be my DC. Which
Yeah. No kidding.
why not?
Pretty good situation there. We'll do a little edition of Wild Card Guess the Scores with Dr. Z coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, here we go. Time for a wild card edition of Can You Guess the Scores with
tough.
Dr. Z.
Got to go 4 and 2.
Yes.
It's
No
tough.
window.
No
There's
window.
no window,
Very
everybody.
small window. Very small window.
Have no faith.
It's hard.
No, because
Let's hear you do it.
Hold up. Now, I am aware that you've done quite well with the scores.
That's right.
But guess the scores?
Hard.
It is a feast or it is a giant famine.
Hold on. How bootsy was that? It's hard, Dad. So you do it.
It's hard. Let's see you do it. I need you to pick him up at half court. It's hard. Let me see you do it, Dad.
I love that tickled you.
That
It makes me so happy.
That was great. All right. Here we go. Saturday, the early game. It is the Chargers of Los Angeles at Houston. Chargers at Houston.
Chargers -3.
Got it. Exactly. That's an Iron Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn.
By the way, it is all the
production.
premier broadcast teams this weekend.
Because we're all spread
Well,
out,
that's
right?
how we do it.
Very nice.
All right, your evening game, your Saturday evening game, if you will, is the Steelers of Pittsburgh at the Ravens of Baltimore.
Where's
Al
Al
Michaels,
Eatings?
Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung on the call on Prime Video.
Where's Al eating on Friday night?
In Baltimore? Steak.
Should be eating a Zumi. I'm not going to
They
lie
don't,
to you.
do they sling steak?
You can sling a steak there. You get some A5 Wagyu there, but it's the sushi. Sushi and steak together. What a treat.
Yeah, he's going steakhouse.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the Baltimore steakhouse of choice is, but that's where he's going.
I don't know. They have a strong little Italy. The
I mean, he's
sushi
not doing
game is
that.
strong.
Zumi. So good.
Yeah. Is that right on the harbor?
Yeah.
Zumi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I ate when Ohio State played Navy when I was over there.
Maybe you should have. We ate there. Gibbe and I broke bread there with Modes
Yep.
Well, that's
And
a waste.
Mrs.
and,
Modes.
and Robin. Yeah.
All right, Steelers at Ravens. Yeah,
-6.5.
Ravens
10.
-9.5.
Come on. Hey.
So that makes me think
They're gonna win by a
Baltimore
billion.
by a billion.
9.5.
That's big.
That's an outrageous line.
That's bigly in a rivalry game.
That's an outrageous line.
In a game that's almost
on a
always
second.
18-16.
Hold on a second.
I can see him do it,
doing
even though I
it.
can't hear it. I can
He's
see it.
doing
I know
it.
exactly
What?
he's doing. Sorry about the line.
All right, hold on. What week?
People are saying
Hold on. I'm going to give me 2 seconds here, folks. This is going to be worth it. Bear with me. I'm looking up when they last hosted
And
the
I
Steelers.
think, like, Zay
which was
Flowers didn't practice.
week,
I don't
week
think he's going to play this
16.
week.
Week 16,
Yeah.
they hosted them and beat them 34-17, and the line was indeed 7. So they're saying from 2 weeks ago, same teams, they feel like they're 3 points better than they were then.
yeah.
And let's not forget the Steelers did beat them in Pittsburgh in November in a game that was Ravens -3 on the road. That's a significant shift.
Yes. Yes. All right, on to your Sunday slate. We'll start in Buffalo. The Broncos at the Bills in a Nance Romo Wolfson. I didn't know Jay Feely's
They're
involved with them
adding
now.
Feely to this.
To like on the
So
field?
there's somebody on both
Yeah, the one
sidelines.
both
on either
sidelines.
side.
Okay.
It's kind of like Fox's number one team has Andrews and Rinaldi.
So redundant.
One's on each side.
Okay.
They're getting the stories.
I guess.
Double the focus.
I guess. Go
They're
ahead.
two wonderful people too, by the way.
They are.
Andrews and Rinaldi.
Yes,
Both
they are.
wonderful.
They're very, very, very lovely.
I've got the Bills.
Yep.
And I have two numbers in my head that are very close. So as long as I'm close, I'll feel good about it in reality. But I'm going to go with Bills -7.5. Don't be
Bills
6.5.
-8.5.
Oh, that's a big one too.
That's a big one with that defense.
With the way they're playing, Marvin Mims.
Yeah.
More like they heard in Denver, they're calling him Marvin Hims. That is as big as it gets, folks,
Giant.
on the luminary chain.
Giant L.
No bigger.
None. You could. So many things. So many. I would just be so much fun to do it. It would be. So
I don't know
much
why
fun.
we can't.
All right, well, I do,
maybe
but-
we'll ask.
Maybe we'll ask. All right, Packers at Eagles. Packers at Eagles.
Jalen Hurts is practicing today.
He is, yeah.
You're
There
good, you. Eagles minus 3.5.
Eagles minus 4.5.
I almost went 4, but then I was going to be like, if it's 3, you're going to feel like an idiot.
These are all
Streaks at 3. I know that.
These are all over. They're all over. None are very little that are like the customary what you'd expect. Commies at Bucks, NBC Sunday night. Tirico, Collinsworth, Melissa Stark.
Am I really waiting up all day for this?
No, I'm not. No. I got season finale of Landman on Sunday. I'm good.
Man, we're going to rip that.
You're gonna
We
fly
got
through
2
that?
episodes of Outlander left. We polished Squid Games off in like,
Blew through that.
oh, yeah. Disclaimer, if you watch first season, epic. Second season, also epic, but second season is not a season. It's actually half of a
I
season.
hate when they do that.
So you're like,
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way they're wrapping this up in an hour. There's way too
Much going on.
Certainly they're not.
They're not,
It
no.
stops very much in the middle of the story, and then you'll
That
get it in
stinks.
June.
Yeah. Landman is cake.
I can't wait.
It's just fun.
Love it.
I can't
really
wait.
fun. Really
I can't
fun.
wait. I think I'm gonna have I'm gonna be.
You're gonna enjoy it a lot.
It's gonna be a real hoot. By the way, did you finish? Have you finished Bad Monkey?
Yeah, I did.
It's great.
It did. I thought it petered off. I thought if there were 8 episodes of it, I thought the first 6 were extraordinary,
Yeah.
and then I thought the ending was kind of like, huh?
It was, to me, agreed, but it was worth it for the the arc of the Dragon Queen.
Yeah,
She
but
went
like,
nuts at the end. It's pretty awesome. In the rain.
right? I don't want
It
to.
could have been 6 episodes.
Yeah, I just thought they had a spot. Like the people that I was rooting for, most didn't feel like they won at all,
No,
and I thought with the tone of that, I thought maybe you'd get some wins.
should have been some frivolity for
Yeah.
Vincenzo.
Agreed. Commies at Bucks.
I think I'm probably going to have this way wrong, but this is how I would be spreading it.
Yeah.
Commies minus 2.5.
Bucks minus 3.
I knew I was. Yep.
Finally,
I was acknowledging that I was wrong.
Monday Night Football. Vikings at Ramit.
By the way,
Buck
NFL
Aikman Salters.
obviously monitoring this situation with everything going on out in Los Angeles. And we'll
in
see what
January?
happens with this game.
To have this type of fires in January,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Malibu, Pacific Palisades, like all of that.
Palisades
It was
is-
gone. It's a brush fire that now they have hurricane force winds.
Yeah, the Santa Anas, I think.
Man,
It's terrible.
suck.
It's going north towards Malibu right now,
Yeah.
which anybody's ever been out there and been on PC. I mean, it's as beautiful a stretch and as expensive a stretch. And
Oh, my God. Think about the insurance business on this, trying to make all this right. How do you even begin?
Can't.
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 Mess.
Can't.
God
No,
bless those people.
total mess.
Suck.
Yes, hoping for a turnaround and whatever can be salvaged at this point forward can be. That'd
Yeah.
be wonderful. I've got the Vikings minus 3.
Vikings minus 1.
It's a solid 1 in 5 day for you. Good.
That's tough.
Perfect.
It's hard. You want to do it?
Yeah. I got one perfect. I bet you'd have gotten none.
Probably.
You did. Second hour of the
Started
program.
real hot.
Coming up next,
Should've walked away.
Jack Conklin with a very candid locker clean-out. We will have that for you, among other things, coming up in the second hour. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Dog Pound, dig into Wendy's new Browns Biggie Bundle all season long. Score a junior bacon cheeseburger, a 4-piece nug, junior fry, small soft drink, and a small Frosty for just $7. Here we go, Brownies. Grab one from any participating Wendy's for a limited time. Time to the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here is your tackle, Jack Conklin, from his locker room clean-out day. Pay attention. There's a very candid conversation with Jack. Let's have a listen.
What gives you faith
You're down about 8 minutes here.
you can be the guy that can kind of lead this turnaround?
I just believe in him. He's a good man. He's a good character, and he's a super hard worker. And I know he's gonna get the ship righted, and he's gonna do everything in his power to get us back winning.
Joel talked a little bit about this, but do you guys think just with how the team is built and with what Kevin is comfortable with, you guys will be more better suited to go back to the kind of offense you ran this first?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what this nucleus team is built around, and I'm excited. Hopefully, we get back to that.
What do you think it didn't work out with Andy?
I think it was a lot of things. There was a lot of things. Switching our offense and stuff was tough, and fortunately, a lot of times the line coach gets blamed. We can't run the ball, and we didn't run the ball well enough. So, it's a bummer. You hate to see a guy get fired, but when you go 3-14, changes have to happen.
Jack, how much will you try to talk Joel into coming back?
I'm not worried about Joel. I think he'll go home for a month, think about it, and then be ready to get back here. So we'll see what happens, but we'll see.
Such a struggle all year with this offense to score points. Coming into the season, there were just such high expectations of us, and it went in the opposite direction.
I just think we lacked identity offensively. I think we tried to do a lot of different things, and we didn't really get good at doing, one thing. And I think that was really the hard part. And I think there's a lot we need to fix, and a lot of things that really just comes down to finding our identity and what we want to hang our hat on and do, and move forward with that.
You guys had a lot of injuries on the offensive line, but as the season went on, in that last kind of stretch, just you guys kind of settle in, get more comfortable, and that help you guys offensively?
Definitely. I think once we got, once Jermaine stepped in and we had that group for 7 or 8 games to finish the year, I think that definitely helped with just the cohesion of not having guys in and out and having to, figure out how to work with different guys and everything. So that definitely helped.
Were there things about this offense that stood out to you as building blocks to find that identity in 2025?
I think we still have our nucleus. Pretty much the same group of guys we've had for the last 5 years as an offensive line, and with Poe coming in a little bit later, but he's been here for I think now 3 years, and to have that group that older guys that know how to work together and have had a lot of success, I think we can definitely build off of that and get back to winning games.
How much are you looking forward to a normal offseason where you're not going to be rehabbing and you kind of just get ready for week 1 essentially?
Yeah, definitely a relief. Definitely be nice to have a full offseason just to lift weights and everything and not have any setbacks, and it's gonna be great.
Joe, on those lines, personally, how satisfying was this for you to be able to come back and perform at such a high level?
It was definitely great. To finish the season and then come back and I think play. Honestly, one of my best years in the NFL. It was definitely an accomplishment, an individual accomplishment for myself, and I feel really happy with how the year ended on an individual basis. Come back from my third knee injury and be able to play at a high level still. It was a huge accomplishment.
Did they bring back, if they go back to Deshaun as the quarterback, just what's your thoughts on that, and what will it take for, that to work this time?
I think it's just, creating our own identity, what this team needs. I think creating around an individual makes things tough for everybody else, and I think you got to stick with what this team's been built around, and if we can do that, I think we can have a lot of success with Tim at quarterback.
Jack, Wyatt talked before the season just about the differences in mentality or approach from Bill to Andy. Not to say Andy's style doesn't work, but did you guys feel like maybe you missed Bill's philosophy on things a little bit this year?
It's hard. Any O-line coach is going to step in here after Bill. Bill's probably one of the greatest O-line coaches ever in the NFL, and to follow that it's tough for anybody. And with that, switching philosophies was definitely a tall task for anybody to take over. And I feel bad for Andy having it go this way. Obviously wanted to have success in doing this other offense, but it just didn't work.
Jack,
seems like there's obviously some uncertainty at left tackle for next year. I guess first, what did you think of the job Dewan did when they put him there before he got hurt?
I think he was doing a good job. I think he was fitting in well over there, and I think it's definitely was good for him being a young guy, going to be able to play next to Joel. Have a vet like that to play next to can definitely help his confidence and help him become a better player.
Hey Jack, were you surprised that switching offenses did prove to be so difficult, or did you were there times in training camp where you're like, this is a little concerning?
You try not to worry too much because it was new, so there was definitely hiccups and stuff that we wanted to iron out that didn't get ironed out, unfortunately. But I think everybody learned a lesson about what this team is built around and what we need to do moving forward.
As an offensive line, those conversations when you guys had that core group the second half of the season, how did you guys work through, okay, we know what we need to do, how do we go about this as a unit, and I guess what were those conversations like?
I think that's the great part about being an offensive lineman. It's no matter what's going on, the five of us have to work in unison no matter what, and I think we just started relying on each other, and really just coming together, and things weren't going our way, but we were going to stick together and keep fighting, and we really stuck to that throughout the season, and just we were put in a lot of bad situations, and we felt like we stepped up to the task when we needed to, and we tried to protect our asses off as much as we could.
Jack, when you say you guys know what you're built around, you said that a couple times. What specifically is that? Is it the run game? What
yeah, I mean, you look at what we've done. I think I would say where we had our most success is we're a wide zone team. We brought in guys that do that, and have been very successful at doing that. And I hope that's where we move back to.
Jack, I know that you really like it here a lot. Your wife is from here. In order, if they had to do something from a contractual standpoint to make it work with you, would you be open to a redo or suggestions or anything like that?
I think we just have to wait and see what happens. We haven't had any conversations yet, so I'm sure those are coming down the line. So I guess we'll have to see where everybody stands, and there'll be something my agent and AB work out.
We saw Mike Vrabel spent a lot of time working with you guys, especially the second half of the season. He's on looking for another head coaching job. Just your thoughts on the contributions he made and him getting back into the head coaching game.
He did the same thing in Tennessee actually. When I was there, he was in the O-line room a lot, and I think that goes to show just the offense runs through the offensive line, and I think for him as former head coach, he sees the how important that is, and to be in there, he was very helpful. It's always good to get a defensive guy's perspective on things, and he really took to the room, and we appreciate having him in there and his insight.
What will a team that hires him, get in his second tour as a head coach?
I think you're going to get exactly what you expect. He's a guy who's going to work his ass off no matter what, and he's going to get the most out of players, and he's a great leader. And I'm really excited for him, for his future, and I hope he has a lot of success.
To go back to left tackle, I know the future's uncertain with Jed, but I mean, just you playing with him the last few years, what do you think of how he's done and the injuries he's fought through and everything?
It's always tough on the outside. You never really know what guys are dealing with, and he's had some stuff he's had to deal with, and if he wants to do it and he wants to put in the time, then he can have the success. It's just going to come down to him.
That last part, on point, as much of that was from Jack Conklin. All right, coming up next, 4 Downs with college football Nate. Big week for you. Big week for CFB, Nate.
Let's go, dude.
Week. We'll do that coming up next. It was a Cleveland Browns Daily brought to you by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for the segment that's sweeping the nation or has swept the nation.
That's right.
It is 4 Downs with college football Nate. Hello, Gibbon.
Let's go, baby.
Gentlemen, I'm interested to see how this goes today.
Oh,
have
my
some
God.
Thoughts
Oh,
in
my
this
God.
room.
There's a lot going on here.
It should be interesting. We've had a few weeks off, but we're back. College football Nate.
We're back, baby.
Hit it, Kev.
First down.
If you are a Buckeye fan, are you worried more about Quinn Ewers and the dynamic offense or the turnover-mongering defense? Second in the nation in takeaways for Texas.
Oh, baby.
You're saying this is an A or B?
Yeah.
What are you most worried about?
What about C? Absolutely nothing. The
What a
Buckeyes
way-
are going to
what a pivot.
smoke.
What a pivot.
Smoke the Texas Longhorns. Smoke them, and then they're going to smoke whoever wins the game tomorrow night. It's over. National champions. Write it in ink. Write it in Sharpie. I don't care. Jeremiah Smith. We're not losing. The end. I called this. Before the last. I mean, I've really had this all along.
Had it all along, yeah.
I've had it all along. They're not playing Michigan, so there's nothing in their head. Oh, we need to prove this. They're going to just go play football. It's over. So I reject the question on first down because there is no C, which I am employing. C, no, not worried about
hope
anything.
This
not
take does not come back to haunt
not
us
a
next week.
single thing is college football. Nate, I don't know if you go ahead and you look up my sleep score on Sleep Number this week. I'm just going to hit you real quick the last few days because I'm sure you're all very interested in this.
I am.
Here we go.
Congratulations on all your
96
successes.
yesterday, 93 today. I haven't been below 88 in a week.
What's that mean?
That means good. I'm sleeping like a baby. Why?
But what's the number
not
you're
worried.
looking for?
Oh, dude, if you're above 85, you are.
What is it
living the
monitoring?
dream.
Like just steady sleep?
You're
Birth-
right.
or
Steady
like-
sleep, restless sleep, out of bed or awake, heart rate variability,
Oh, my God.
and your breath rate.
Wow.
So I'm sleeping like a babe.
Yeah.
Give up.
Yes.
Are either you or G-Man familiar with Lucius Ferris?
Lucius Ferris?
No.
Lucius Ferris is a great character in an Academy Award-winning Best Picture, Gladiator. May have heard of it. And at one point, he's sleeping while the busy bees are out there, and he's sleeping like he's loved. That's how I'm sleeping
Like you're
because
loved.
I've got no problemo.
Yep.
Texas Schmexis.
Oh, I'll ask you the same question.
Boom.
Do you guys want a quick? Do you think how many people? Is anyone interested in like the Quinn Ewers path and the how crazy all of this is? Okay, Quinn Ewers
Sure.
in 2020 commits to then Texas coach Tom Herman, who was the offensive coordinator for Urban Meyer at Ohio State. Okay, Urban Meyer does not particularly like Tom Herman because Tom Herman, we later found out, was part of the undoing of Urban Meyer at Ohio State and leaking some of the Zach Smith details to reporter Brett McMurphy. Okay, fast forward to 2020 in the winter, Tom Herman's starting to get a little bit of hot water, not winning enough at Texas. So guess who goes down to Texas and says, hey, this is the best high school football quarterback prospect to come out of Texas since Vince Young. We'd like to have him. A kid by the name of Corey Dennis. Who is Corey Dennis, you ask? Corey Dennis is Urban Meyer's son-in-law. So Corey Dennis goes to Dallas, Texas, South Lake Carroll, and starts recruiting Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers decommits from Texas, commits to Ohio State. In his junior year, after his junior year, he was
Leaves high school, right?
He was the highest-rated high school quarterback in the state of Texas since Vince Young. A perfect prospect, a 1,000 prospect on 24/7 composite, highest-rated player they ever had at that position. His family puts together a $1 million deal with a kombucha maker. The problem is the state of Texas will not allow him to profit on his name, image, and likeness while he's at Dallas, South Lake Carroll. So he reclassifies, which I always have a question about that. How are all of these kids able to graduate an entire year early from every school that they want to? I never understand that. Like how you're always prepared to be. What was he going to do his senior year had he just stayed as planned? Like just not take anything?
No classes.
It makes no sense. So I've never understood that.
Not under Pedro's yoke. He would have taken
it's
APs.
crazy. So, I guess that's the theory. Are you telling me every athlete who's a 5-star athlete is also an AP student? It's hard
No,
for me
but
to
I
wrap my
still
head
had
around.
to take
I'm not
classes.
talking about you. I'm saying all these guys who reclassify.
Yeah.
What you're telling me they're all have the credits? It just doesn't add up.
Do they graduate?
They obviously do, because then they go into university. So Texas won't do that, so he reclassifies. He shows up in the middle of camp at Ohio State in 2021 and is a 17-year-old at Ohio State, rooms with Jack Sawyer, gets his kombucha deal, does a couple other deals down in Columbus. Pretty sure nobody ever confirmed this, but it was always that there's a lot of conjecture that he got COVID like almost right away. So then he missed like 2 weeks of camp. And then leaves like at the end of the season on Twitter saying, "Take me to Texas" by George Strait. He plays the last 3 years at Texas, the last 2 with Arch Manning directly over his shoulder, watching everything that he does. Plays relatively well, deals with some injuries. And now, in what is understood to be, one way or another, his last game or 2 at Texas, he has to play Ohio State. That's a wild path.
It is.
And we've used this so much to the Ohio State perspective, but from his perspective, like the idea that Texas is saying, dude, you could win the national title. You want to come back next year? We're moving on. It's going to Arch next year. The fact that all the parties understand that is crazy.
Clutched up on 4th down.
He called it. To answer the question, this is the last talent equates matchup for either Texas or Ohio State. Both of these teams can look across the field and goes, those guys look like our guys. I would be far more worried if I were Ohio State at the turnover mongering defense, but the fact that Texas has the Thorpe winner in the secondary. They are very good at linebacker. They are very good on the defensive front. It's probably the best total defense Ohio State has played against, and I think they will have answers for some of the Buckeye receivers, not total answers, but much better than anybody else all season long. So I think Texas's defense could be pretty legitimate.
So Bo's sleep rating's probably about an 81 or an 82 right now, as opposed to the 95 that Zagura's throwing up.
I still think they're
isn't sleeping at all.
I think they're fine. I think they'll cover. I think they're good. But of the 2, to answer the question, I think the defense. I think Quinn will throw it a couple of times. He'll put it in harm's way.
Next.
2nd down.
Rank the QBs left in this year's college playoff from best to worst.
For what
we have
criteria?
A little bit of breaking news per us. We've named Mike Bloomgren our new offensive line coach per the Cleveland Browns. Welcome to Cleveland, Mike.
So that was if I have that right, College Football Nate's going to dig deep into his archives. Pretty sure the head coach at Rice.
Beats me, brother. When's the last time we broke our own news? Like, I don't see anybody else with it.
No. Gibby would have been. We could have had. Would have been nice if we had a little intel on that. Some insights to share with people. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, go. We obviously are ready. We got the write-up.
I'm pulling it up right now, or I'm trying to anyway. While I pull this up for the quarterback question, Gibby, are we ranking them as NFL prospects or as college quarterbacks?
College quarterbacks.
You could do college quarterbacks. That's fine.
Okay. All right, here we go. The Browns have officially announced that they have hired Mike Bloomgren as the new offensive line coach. Mike has a wealth of knowledge and is extremely bright, says Kevin Stefanski. In addition to his NFL experience, he's worked in a number of pro-style offenses on the college level. He was proven to be successful as a teacher and a motivator, which will be vital for our offensive line room. We're excited to add him to the staff. Bloomgren recently served as the head coach at Rice University for 7 seasons, beginning in 2018.
Good job to you.
This might be the crowning achievement of college football, Nate.
We still have 2 more weeks. Could be more to come.
I've already told you what's happening over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
Clairvoyant college football, Nate.
Clairvoyant
CCFN. While at Rice, Bloomgren led the football program to back-to-back bowl games in 22 and 23 for the first time since 13 and 24. Played college football at Culver Stockton College, where he spent 2 seasons as a tight end. Graduated from Florida State in 1999. You guys may have crossed paths, no?
I was not there in 99.
You got there, what, a little bit after that?
01.
Yes, maybe he was still hanging around. While at Florida State, he worked as an undergraduate assistant with the linebackers. Began his coaching career in 1999 as a graduate assistant at Alabama. Then spent 3 seasons at Catawba College as the co-offensive coordinator, offensive line, and special teams coach. Then spent 2 seasons at Delta State. These sound made up.
I know,
in
that's
similar roles.
Mississippi. Those are Division II powerhouses, yeah.
Working as the offensive coordinator, offensive line, and special teams coach. Transitioned to the NFL in 2007, where he joined the Jets staff as an offensive quality control for 2 seasons and served in this position under Brian Schottenheimer and Bill Callahan. He then moved into an offensive assistant role in 2009 when Rex Ryan became the head coach. In 2010, he served as the assistant offensive coordinator. The Jets finished with an 11-5 record, averaging nearly 23 points per game. The time trained and instilled a lot of beliefs I have in the position and the manner in which it should be taught, Bloomgren said. Bloomgren returned to collegiate football in 2011 at Stanford, where he served as the running game coordinator and offensive line coach. 2011, would that be Shaw? Andrew Luck.
Yeah, it would have been Shaw.
Was that Andrew Luck?
Yeah, post Harbaugh, yeah.
He was promoted offensive coordinator in 2013, took the helm of a pro-style attack. They won 8 or more games in each of his seasons, reached a Pac-12 football championship 4 times, winning 3 titles. While leading the Stanford offense, Bloomgren also coached Andrew Luck and Christian McCaffrey, both Heisman finalists who went on to have successful careers. Wouldn't Colby Fleener have been there?
I believe that's true.
He developed a total of 12 NFL draft selections, 11 All-American selections at Stanford, including first-round picks in guard Joshua Garnett and McCaffrey, who set the NCAA all-purpose yardage record. Now back in the NFL, he takes over our offensive line room. When healthy, the Browns could use those skill sets to their advantage. Blah, 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 yada, yada. However, is it to be healthy, blah, blah, blah. Bloomgren, final quote, I'm excited about joining this organization from the Haslams to the alignment with Andrew and Kevin. I think it's an exciting time to be here. The commitment they all have to making this place great, making another playoff run is everything I want to be a part of. I think as a coach, we exist for the players, and that's always going to be the case. I also think it's our job to give them clear direction of how to do things. I know there's a Hall of Fame player here in Joel Bitonio. I think there's some really good pieces, and we have to see exactly how they can fit and exactly how this offense gets formed. But I'm excited about the potential with this group. Mike Bloomgren, former Rice head coach, new offensive line coach of the Cleveland Browns.
There you go. The way they're playing right now, Will, Quinn, Drew, Riley.
All right.
And the first 3 are kind of separate, and Leonard's a distant fourth.
So I had it as Howard for college, Howard, Ewers, Aller, Leonard. But for the pros,
oh, I know. You're excited.
Aller, Ewers, Howard, Leonard. Why are you shaking
Really
your
excited.
head, G-Man?
The G-Man's very excited. He's very excited about it.
Wait, what was your rating?
He had the same as me.
I had the same. I had Howard's for college, Howard, Ewers, Aller, Leonard. But for the pros, Aller, Ewers, Howard, Leonard. What do you think about my pro ranking?
I think a lot there's no win here. This is a kid from Medina. He's played amazing the last 3 times out.
There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on him tomorrow night. Let's see how he answers the pressure.
Against a good defense, yeah.
Next.
3rd down.
Who has the advantage in the run game in the Orange Bowl? Penn State with Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, or Notre Dame with Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price?
Real quick, Albert Breer a minute ago, a name to keep an eye on as the Browns look for a new offensive coordinator. Oh, maybe we heard this name. Saints offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, still under contract with New Orleans, but Cleveland could certainly make a bid to get him out of there with the Saints coach search ongoing. All right, 3rd down. Advantage in the run game in the Orange Bowl. Penn State with Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, or Notre Dame. Let me tell you something. Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, they can fly.
They can.
Give me the Golden Domers on the ground. Both these teams can run, but I don't think Penn State can win on the back of their ground game alone, whereas you look at the quarterback rankings we just did, who was at the bottom, distant fourth?
Look at this guy.
Look at him swack it.
Oh, swacking it up. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
No,
Stop it.
I'll tell you what he's saying in the break. He's saying, no, I won't do it. I won't do it. Number one.
Number one.
Notre Dame needs these guys. I think they've got the advantage, and I think they need to have the advantage on the ground.
Jeremiah Love is going to be very interesting to see how healthy he is. He's been out of practice most of this week. Marcus Freeman said they thought that he would be able to go this week. College Football Nate has the right read. I think Notre Dame has to win the game from the front. I don't think they can chase with Riley Leonard.
No.
I think Notre Dame has some better weapons, and I think that their scheme, all of those things, they give them advantages to. Penn State, I don't think, can chase either, but Aller gives them a fighting chance chasing. The reality, though, is that Penn State's backs, I think, are both more talented and healthier. The question is their whole operation as good as Notre Dame's? And I think it's probably not.
Next.
4th down.
Is getting a win on Friday as simple as feed 4 the ball for Ohio State?
Yep.
With a caveat.
I mean, you can't turn the ball over. You get all these things. We have a turnover mongering defense, according to those who are not sleeping as well as I am.
Yeah.
No, he's the best player on the field.
Yes. They have to. I will say this: they have to throw it to run it. They have got to throw to run the way they did against Tennessee and Oregon, and if they do that, they'll be successful.
Next, bonus question.
You know what? Can I just say something? College Football Nate wants to say something.
Yeah.
Only if you keep referring to yourself in the third person.
I will.
So
which
much,
is spectacular.
I will.
So good.
I feel very bad for Emeka Ibuka. He is lost. He is.
According to several of the draft mocks I've seen, he's going at the end of the first round. So I think
He's a
it'll be
first
okay.
round wide. But I mean, is it as simple as feed in 4? It's like the guy doesn't even exist. He's a first rounder. So
Carnell Tate might be one too.
Think about how good.
By the way, the kid who's fourth on that depth chart is a kid named Brandon Innes, and he was the number 1 wide receiver prospect in the country 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that's how much talent they have.
That's right. That's what
it's
they
just
do.
4 is
it's Brian Hartline, the machine that they go there. Here's the thing: that guy he's not getting very much respect, and I think this could be a huge Ibuka game because you've got a lot of attention is going to be on 4.
Hey, let's be good, but let's not be too good, Ibuka. Maybe.
Yeah, he's nice. He's a good player.
Maybe the number 1 pick in the second round.
Oh baby.
Oh baby.
Oh baby.
Bonus. First bonus.
I'm going to tell you right now, if he's there at 33 and there's a good tackle, you're going to be all. It's going to be like me back in the years 2014. All I want, give me Allen Robinson. Give me this. Now we ended up with, to be fair, Batonio, but we could have come back into the second and gotten Allen Robinson, which would have given me great joy.
I don't even know if I want to ask this because I already know the question from college or the answer from
Yeah,
Nate.
This is a flawed question, dude.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
It's a flawed question.
I think this is a flawed question.
It says apples and tacos.
Which
you
local kid is the
can't be
bigger
an X factor when
for
you're
their
a
team?
quarterback. You're the factor.
You are the factor.
He's the whole factor. So
you can't say who's a bigger factor.
Here's
X,
one for
Z,
you.
Y, whatever.
Can Penn State win if Drew Aller isn't great? No. He's got to be great.
Got to be great.
And if he's great, then they'll win.
Dare to be great.
Good job out of Mitchell Evans out of Wadsworth, though, fighting Grizzlies.
Double bonus. Which coach left in the Final Four is the best candidate to be considered for an NFL head coaching gig in 2025?
There's no doubt Marcus Freeman has shown leadership, tenacity, all of it. Culture, force of culture, good in-game manager, getting more the sum.
You mean 26 or right now?
Right now.
Okay.
None of them is the answer.
In the
for
hiring
that.
cycle.
Nobody. Do you agree with that? Ryan Day's not coaching in the NFL. Stop it. You think so? I'll write this down.
I believe we asked this question for a reason, and I'm happy we did.
2:36 on Wednesday. What is it? January 8th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bo Bishop. Did you and S have a 30-minute conversation about this?
Mm-mm.
No. And then are you then saying that Vrabel choose the NFL to come to Ohio State?
No, he doesn't. He's not going to.
If Ryan Day does go to the NFL, College Football Nate would like to know who's the next head coach of the Buckeyes.
Do a little higher, lower coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Love is always in the air when it comes to our four-legged friends. Join the Barking Backers, the fan club for dogs presented by Milkbone by January 19th. Fetch an invite to our Smoochies and Pooches event. View membership options and join today at barkingbackers.com. Smooches and Pooches event? When I read that I'm glad I said that. I didn't read
You did
that
a good
before.
job.
I didn't read
You
that
did a good
before.
job.
We've got a
sneak up
new
on you.
offensive line coach.
That'll sneak up on
There
you.
you go. That one
We
snuck
do.
up on us.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Mike Bloomgren, welcome to the program. Spent the past 7 seasons the head coach of Rice. Took him to a couple of bowl games. Long pass. Was very productive at Stanford as the offensive coordinator there. Was with the Jets when Bill Callahan was the O-line coach as an offensive assistant under Rex Ryan. He's done a lot. Been a coach for a very, very long time. It sounds like he's kind of a tough, no-nonsense guy, and I think that's good for that room. I
agree.
A lot of pros played under him at Stanford. That is for sure.
So there you go. So that part's done. So you're looking for an offensive coordinator now.
Yep, and interviews are underway, and we know Tommy Reese is a name that's been
Yeah.
reported. Clint Kubiak is reported as a name to keep an eye on, which feels very obvious, but Albert Breer put it into the real world as a name to keep an eye on as well.
All right, there you go. Time for a little higher, lower. Hello, Gibby.
It's actually hello, G-Man.
Oh, G-Man. The G-Man. Oh, baby.
NFL Power Rankings, remaining playoff teams. You have Eric Edholm from NFL.com's ranking is in front of you, and you have my rankings in front of you.
Oh, my gosh. The G-Man's rankings.
G-Man. Okay, G-Man.
So
I got a
Eric
lot in
Edholm
here.
has the Kansas City Chiefs at 1.
All right, where's the G? The
It's
G-Man
a two-pager. It's a two-pager.
front and back?
Yeah,
or-
front and back, front and back.
I have the
G-Man,
Lions at
the
1.
G-Man even is right up?
Yeah, I love it. All right, G-Man, hit us. You have the. All right, so you want to go? We're going from 1 on down. All right.
Yeah, let's go for it. So I have
I'm
the
gonna-
Lions at 1. He has the Chiefs at 1.
I'm going to have the Kansas City Chiefs at 1.
Same. We did this with the Hoff a couple of weeks ago. I had the Chiefs then. I have the Chiefs now. I have the Chiefs until they lose.
So I have the Chiefs at 2.
What?
I like how you even have little write-ups here.
Yeah,
G-Man.
read the people your write-up.
Yeah, give them. I mean, you put some
Lions.
copious amount of work on this.
Yeah.
More snow. Nice to see. Love it.
Lions, most dynamic offense in the field. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson is one of the hottest coaching candidates for a reason. They can beat you by outscoring you. Despite all the injuries on defense, they found ways to win. Next man up mentality in Detroit is something to behold. This team is scary. So is Dan Campbell.
I like it. I like it.
Chris Spielman reportedly interviewing for the job with the Jets, general manager job, and he was part of the hiring process that brought in Holmes and Dorsey and all those cats in Detroit.
Tomorrow, college football Nate's going to be interviewing for the chief scout for the Jets.
I was just going to say, I'm a little disappointed that we have not been.
I'm shocked that you haven't been asked because
Yeah,
the Jets
it's
have asked
amazing.
everybody else.
All right, so you have Kansas City too?
Yes, Kansas City 2. Speaking of finding ways to win, that's what the Chiefs have done all year long. Two-time defending champs still have Mahomes and Kelsey. Glaring difference this year is their stout defense. I think this might be the most complete Chiefs team in Patrick Mahomes' time as a starter.
Xavier Worthy starting to unlock a little bit. I mean, I have Kansas City 1 just because
Yeah.
I do. I have Baltimore 2.
I would have Baltimore too as well.
I have the Eagles at 3. In the 3 games A.J. Brown played after calling out his team's passing offense, he was targeted 31 times, 19 receptions, 243 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This offense is more than capable. Pair that with likely Offensive Player of the Year Saquon Barkley and the league's top-ranked defense, and you have all the tools to make a run. Obviously with the caveat that Jalen Hurts plays.
Sure.
Yes.
Here. Which is still up in the air.
Yeah.
All right, I've got Baltimore 2.
Same.
I've got Detroit 3.
So do I. I got KC, Baltimore, Detroit, and then I have Buffalo 4.
Same. I have the Bills 4 as well.
So I have Baltimore at 4. And I don't have to read this for every single one.
No,
So, I mean, the
Here's
Ravens
where
have
I'm
the
at,
number
too.
1 defense in the league since week 11, and then they've got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. And by the way, Bateman, former first-round pick, averaged over 17 yards a catch, 9 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
They are.
He finally, it all clicked for them with him.
Yep.
I mean, he kept waiting. We knew how good he was from Minnesota. I would say that at this point, through these 4, KC, Baltimore, Detroit, and Buffalo, because of the injury stuff with Hurts, every team after these,
No,
I
this
would be,
is a point of delineation for me.
yeah, everybody after here, I would be surprised if I saw them hoisting the Lombardi. The first 4 teams, Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, Buffalo, if any of those teams won it, I would be like, yeah, okay. And Kansas City, obviously, no-brainer. But the other 3, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. I could see how that would happen. Now, starting at 5, this is a different tier.
Yeah, so I had the
Yep.
Bills at 5. I actually had them outside your guys' top 4. And then where I really kind of deviated from everybody else, I have the Rams at 6. I think this is a team that understands how to win. They're well coached. They're hot. 5-1 in their last 6, and that loss was by 5 to a Geno Smith contract incentive hunting Seahawks team.
I feel like they're gonna wish that they had stayed at the 3 seed.
Really dumb. So the next group for me would have Philly and Green Bay in it.
So I've got Philly 5.
Yeah.
I've got Minnesota 6.
I don't know if I can buy a long Sam Darnold run. And it could just be scar tissue from last week. So I have Philly and Green Bay. I trust those 2 operations a little more than Minnesota's, despite the fact they play each other, obviously.
All right. You've got Minnesota 8. I have Green Bay 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Minnesota 8. I have Washington 9, and I have Green Bay at 10.
So I've got Minnesota 6, Green Bay 7, the Chargers at 8, and the Rams at 9. And then to me, there's another point of delineation there.
I'll put the Rams and the Chargers kind of in the same group.
I
think
8-9.
I think LA has some advantages offensively if their receivers are good to go, and Stafford. If Herbert just had any weaponry at all, I like everything else about the Chargers. They just have no weapons. But I think both of those teams, like, would I be shocked if either one of those teams like sprung an upset? No, I wouldn't. To your point on the Rams, I wouldn't. If they, I suppose it's an upset. They're dogs, right? Just 1 point. Wouldn't surprise me if the Rams beat
are
Minnesota,
1-point dogs at home. I had the Chargers at 7. I had them right after the Rams. And I have the Packers at 10 because I just they're top 5 in total offense and total defense. It's been very quiet for them this year, though.
Yeah.
And I think it's a result of who you play. That shouldn't be the knock on them, right? Because you beat who you play. But they've only beat 3 teams this season that finished the year over 500.
So my last grouping would be Bucks, Steelers, Texans, Broncos. That's my last.
I have Washington in that
quad.
as well. I
Yeah,
go
yeah.
Washington
yeah,
at 10, Denver at 11, Tampa 12, Houston 13, Steelers 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Tampa 11, Broncos 12, just because their defense, really. Texans 13, Steelers 14. Standard is the standard, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. The standard is the standard. Good job out of you, G-Man. So much more to come. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. You excited for this one tonight, Cavs? OKC?
Yeah, very excited.
They've won 15 in a row. Cavs won 10 in a
Irresistible
row.
force meets the immovable object. Somebody's going to have their first non-conference loss of the season.
It feels like you're going to get both's best.
I hope so.
Because I think like you can kind of see it's a fun one to have one like this where you got two really good teams that record-wise they're there, and let's see what it looks like. Let's have a little fun. So I'm excited. As I mentioned, I'll be down there at it. Look forward to being there and checking it out.
So as someone that hasn't watched a lot of the Cavs this
Yeah.
year, what is the difference between Kenny Atkinson's Cavs and JB Bickerstaff's
So
Cavs?
if you were
One word.
have you ever done
two
have
words.
you done mathematics in your life?
Absolutely.
Okay. So offensively, we were doing 2 + 2 = 4. Okay. We are now doing algebra offensively.
And we're moving
One minute.
the
One
ball.
minute.
That's the
It
algebra.
is not.
There's nothing stagnant.
ISO,
like if you turn it on
stagnant.
tonight, if you haven't seen any of it, what you will see is a ball that peppers from one guy to the next, often making the next pass. As in basketball, we always say one more, one more. You try to get little kids, one more pass. Don't stop at you, one more. Same thing. They go one more. It's always one more. And so they get open looks over and over again. It's so much fun to watch how they do it. If you hadn't seen them all year, they look nothing like they did a year ago.
30.
Tomorrow you'll get our All-Pro teams, and we'll compare that to the NFLPA All-Pro teams.
We will. You got that to look forward to, which is nice. Good tease out of you. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.